I get it when you're standing in the kitchen staring at a sleek, black machine that promises 17 coffee specialties. You're not just buying a gadget, you're trying to decide if it's worth the space it will take up and the money you'll part with. I was in that exact spot last month, scrolling through endless reviews, trying to picture how a Jura would actually fit into my morning routine, and wondering if I'd end up with another countertop ornament that I'd use once a week. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, and I thought I'd walk you through what I discovered before you make the leap. First off, the biggest thing that separates an automatic machine like the E8 from a regular drip brewer is the whole freshly ground coffee promise. The machine grinds beans right before each brew, which, in theory, should give you that Keflavel aroma every single cup. In practice, I found that the grind adjustment wheel is genuinely intuitive. You just turn it a notch for a smoother pour-over feel or crank it up for a tighter espresso extraction. The result is that your latte in the afternoon doesn't taste like yesterday's grounds, and you can actually taste the difference between a light roast and a darker blend without having to switch beans manually. That's a practical strength you notice every time you press the button. The user-friendly side is another selling point that feels less like marketing fluff and more like a daily convenience. The 3.5-inch color display walks you through each specialty step-by-step, from a classic espresso to a more elaborate flat white. There's a one-touch option for the drinks you make most, and you can even program the machine to remember your preferred milk temperature and foam density. I spent a couple of mornings tweaking the milk frother for a cappuccino that didn't end up too watery, and once the settings were saved, the machine hit the right balance without any guesswork. For anyone who isn't a barista but wants a reliable routine, that level of automation cuts down the learning curve dramatically. Maintenance is where a lot of high-end coffee makers trip people up, but Jura seems to have tried to keep it simple. The machine has an integrated cleaning program that you trigger with a single icon, and the water filter indicator lets you know exactly when to swap it out. I did notice, though, that the cleaning tablets are proprietary, so you'll need to keep a stash on hand, nothing you can't find at a local grocery store, but it's an extra recurring cost that some budget-conscious buyers forget about. Also, the drip tray and the brew group are designed to be removable without tools, which makes the weekly rinse a quick affair. If you're the type who forgets to decal, the machine will remind you with a blinking icon, which is a nice safety net. Design-wise, the E8 lives up to the harmonious and modern label. The black stainless finish blends into most kitchen aesthetics, and the footprint is roughly the size of a small microwave. That said, the water reservoir sits on the side rather than the back, meaning you have to pull the whole unit a little to refill it. If your kitchen layout is tight, that extra reach could be a minor annoyance. The milk frother, while integrated, does protrude a bit, so you'll need a little clearance above the machine for the milk jug to sit comfortably. Those are the hidden trade-offs you only notice after you start using the machine daily. Now, who should actually consider spending on this Jura? If you're someone who drinks coffee multiple times a day and enjoys variety, say, an espresso at 8 a.m., a latte at 10 a.m., and maybe a flat white after lunch, the 17 specialty options become a genuine value proposition. The machine's ability to grind fresh beans each time also means you can experiment with different origins without the waste of pre-ground bags. Home office workers, small families, or anyone who likes to entertain guests who have differing coffee preferences will find the one-touch menu a real time saver. Even if you're not a coffee aficionado, the convenience of getting a decent cappuccino without learning how to steam milk can feel like a small luxury. Conversely, if you're a purist who only wants a single espresso shot a day, you might be overpaying for features you'll never use. The machine's size and the need for regular cleaning cycles could feel like more hassle than benefit for a minimalist setup. Also, if you already own a decent manual espresso machine and enjoy the ritual of tamping and pulling the shot yourself, the automatic nature of the Jura could actually take away from that experience. Finally, anyone on a tight budget should weigh the initial price against the ongoing cost of proprietary cleaning tablets and occasional filter replacements. Those add up over the years. A practical weakness that showed up during my week-long trial was the bean hopper capacity. It holds enough beans for about a dozen cups before you have to refill, which isn't a problem if you brew a